Hello, my name is Rundgren, and this is Week 4, Milestone 4 Portfolio Pre-Production of my chosen discipline of character modeling. Um, yeah, what you said about the temple was pretty much exactly what it needed, because that looks really different from what it was before. That really did add a lot to it. I may have gone a little too far with the flatness of it. I'm not sure, but either way, it does look a lot better than it did. It definitely adds a lot more detail. And I did, when I was looking at the references, just general skulls, just to double check on everything. I did, of course, see that little bit of a brow line right there. I always just had trouble this month trying to copy that, but I did manage to somewhat get it on my model. If you can see right around here, you can see the little highlight there. I finally managed to get that bump of the brow there, and to make it actually noticeably separated from the forehead. It does look a lot better than it did, thanks to what you said. Um, I increased his laugh line. It is somewhat hard to tell from, say, this angle, but from the side you can definitely see his laugh line a lot easier. Once again, with this, it's even easier because you can see the big highlight on it. I guess flattened out that the top lip a bit, and it does look better. He does have that slight curve upward with his lips. I tried to keep that in, and I think that came out fairly well. Definitely the muscles besides the this area were quite interesting to deal with. The sternocleidomastoid was a little tricky to get working, especially around here, because there was just this big, huge, just divot, I guess, where his neck was. Probably still need to add a bit more to it, but overall, it does look a lot better than it did. And I do like that it's not bending off in weird shapes. It's just a straight muscle like it should be. Tried to put it behind the ear more or less. And speaking of the ear, I put, or at least tried to line up the jawbone just basically where the ear is, maybe a little slightly ahead. Maybe we do need to push it forward just a tad. I guess it did go a little crazy last week with the hyoid. I pushed it in a little too much rather than just kind of let it out a bit more like it is on most people's necks, because it's, the hyoid just pulls back the muscle that way, so we don't just have this big huge neck from here to here, or it helps pull in, so to speak. And I guess I got a little carried away with it last week. And I did fix the clavicle, put in that S curve. I did look at some more reference for the clavicle, and it is slightly raised. I mean, mine was already kind of like that, so I just kind of emphasize it a bit more. Hopefully it's not too bad. I don't know if I defined this line right here quite enough. Maybe I defined it too much still, because he's not super buff, and he's not, I guess, stressing on you. You know how when you clench your teeth or something like that, your muscles and your neck start showing. Like, he's not really doing that either, so maybe I should just tone this back a bit more, especially right around here. Like I said before, it used to just be a tube. It was really bad before. I tried to fix that so the back muscle right here would have a bit more of a triangle shape right around here. Probably should have defined that a bit more. And what else did you ask me to do now that I think about it? Oh, yeah. I added the little ball on the nose. It definitely was needed, and I did push in the I can't remember what the center part of the nose is called, but I pushed that in and puffed up his top lip a bit more. And I'm trying to remember. Nose, upper lip, corner lip, brow, temple, jawline, hyoid, should not call it mastoid. I think that's all you asked me to do. And I have gone over your video several times, so if I am forgetting something, I'm pretty sure I at least touched upon it. But I'm pretty sure I did everything you wanted. At least, like I said, at least I touched upon it. It does look significantly better than it did with, like, the first thing I did was start messing with the temple, and just even carving out a little bit, it did start looking much better. And with the proper smoothing, it did come out a lot better. It's definitely a noticeable forehead shape. And I am quite ashamed of myself that it took me this long to actually get the brow to be different from the forehead. It's not much, but it took me a month to get, so I'm quite disappointed in myself in that regard. But I guess it's just closing. Thank you so much for all of your advice. Definitely gonna try to keep those videos around so I can keep tabs on it in case or when I do have to model the human, I can just try to remember what my biggest weaknesses were, especially with the forehead, because that was the thing I had to work on the entire month. So I'll have to try to keep that in mind. And just once again, thank you so much for those critiques, and I pray that you have a very blessed Christmas and a very happy New Year.